I kind of wanted to make this video talking about things that they don't tell you when you graduate from college. So I've been out of college now for around 5-6 months. I graduated in May, so yeah, 5 or 6 months. And it's honestly been a roller coaster. Of course, I did do an internship after walking across the stage, getting that fake degree before you get the actual one in the mail. But my internship came and went, and then it was like, holy crap, everything set in. I was like scared because I was like, oh my god, like now I have to find a job. I'm kind of on my own. Like, thankfully I didn't have to deal with like finding a house or like finding an apartment or like dealing with like bills or like things like that necessarily, because that's gonna come too. But I didn't have to deal with as much stressful things I feel like most people have to deal with, and I'm very blessed for that and I'm very thankful. But the whole finding a job and interviewing and just knowing what to do, what to put and what to say out there to get a job was really stressful. As well as coming from going to school in Pennsylvania and then coming back to New York where all my friends are really in Pennsylvania, I felt very alone and very like, oh, I'm just out here floundering because, you know, like the real world's kicking in. Like, you're not a student anymore. That title has long gone. But I can't tell you guys how many times my account was overdrawn prior to graduation, as well as throughout my internship, and definitely while I was looking for a job. Like, I definitely had money like here and there saved up, but like when you're not working for 3 months doing an internship that is not paid, then you're kind of like, I have no money. And then you'll look at your account and you'll just be like,
again, a fucking again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fucking shit.
you know, it's gonna be frustrating and it's gonna feel like I'm never gonna get out of it, but you will get out of it. So don't worry. Don't think you'll be like Squidward in that one episode when he's like a homeless guy on the street. Like, that won't be you, but you'll feel like it. That's okay. It's normal. Don't worry. Whatever you do, if you are going from an internship to a full-time job, like a position that is like in your field that you studied or like outside or whatever you're doing, do not wait to pay for your student loans. As soon as you start making enough money to where you can survive and you have a little more money left over, do start putting out for your student loans, because like, it's nice that we have some time before the amazing interest to flood in and you're required to start paying it back. You want to start as soon as possible, because that's just less time that you'll have to pay in the future, and just less stress, and just less like when the 6 months is done and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to start paying it, you're not gonna be like, oh my god, like how am I gonna pay this? So that's something that you should definitely think about. About finances and money, don't move out of your parents' place unless you really have to. Now, I'm saying, if your parents are going to be disrespectful, if they're going to treat you like trash, then leave. Of course, I'm not saying that you should stay in a position that is detrimental to any part of your health, but don't leave if you don't have to. Because think about it. Wouldn't you want to save $900, $150 a month, staying with your parents, contributing as much as you need to compared to as much as you would have to just for some privacy. Like, I know going away for college and university and having all that freedom is a lot of fun, and you're just gonna be like, oh, why do I have to go back and like deal with that? But I really would advise people to save up, because staying where you are right now, where you're kind of used to, because let's be real, unless you were like living in like a mansion or a posh awesome apartment when you're off at school, you know, you can't really be disappointed staying with your parents where you were before and saving up, compared to if you move out and then have to come back in with your parents. Like, who wants to do that? Like, no one. So definitely consider staying as long as you can with your parents. I know for me, that's what was my plan, because I'm close to my parents, and it was kind of like, you know, they advised that I do it, and I thought it would be a good idea for me to do it. But also, like, I contribute as much as I can, and I do as much as I can for my parents, so it's not like I'm living totally free, and like, but it's better than me like having to live on my own, and I have rent and bills and like, you know, utilities and then everything else. So it was more convenient, and I think it will be convenient for a lot of other people. That freedom, moving out, having the memories of college and university and all the fun crap you did and all the partying and just everything that was college and university, coming back home or moving away to where you're gonna have your new job or your new life, it's gonna be a total like switch. Don't think that, you know, this is just you and this isn't happening to anyone else, because this happens to literally everyone. Like, when you come home from college, it's not gonna be the same. You're gonna feel like you just went from like up here to like down here, kind of. But then you'll start making money and you go out and you'll be able to do the things you want, and then you like come back. But it's not really the same, because it's not, you have a lot more responsibilities, but it's still fun. Don't get me wrong, it's still fun. But don't feel like just because your friends aren't there and, you know, it's not the lifestyle you were used to for 4 years, that it's gonna be like that. You'll make new friends, and it's definitely up to you. Like, it's your mindset. Like, if you're gonna say like, oh, I have no friends and like everything's crap and like life's not the same, I can't have the same fun because I'm not in college, then you won't. But if you go out and you try to make new friends or you try to meet people, like, then you will. You will. I did not realize how important resumes and cover letters were until I started applying for jobs after college. Like, I remember my mom and my sister were like, well, have you started on your resume or cover letter? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I have a template, but like, I don't know if it's the best, or can you help me, since you're making it seem like it's so hard? But it is. Like, your cover letter is what's going to get you noticed, as well as your resume. And a lot of places are requiring both, so you can't expect like, oh, I don't have to write a cover letter, because most places do want cover letters. So be aware of that, and start on your resume and cover letter at least like a month and a half before you end your internship or before you start looking for jobs. Like, if you're someone who you don't need to do an internship, or you did your internship on the last semester of university or college, I would say by at least the end of March, April, you should be working on your resume and cover letters and just like building on it, so that it's pristine and you have nothing to worry about. Because I feel like with a lot of things, it's all about timing. And I remember one of my professors told me this. He was like, sometimes it's just timing. Like, you don't think like you could do something, but you're in a position where you just see something and you go for it and you get it, you know what I mean? But you should always be prepared for that time, you know? So resume and cover letter, very important. Very definitely, if you're still in school and you have this resource, use the career center. I know my school had a really awesome career center and they gave you a lot of great tips. We had mock interviews. We had people who would sit down with you and help you formulate your resume, and it's not even like they would do it for you. They would work with you so you know what you could do if you needed to do it on your own. You know what I'm saying? So definitely check out the career center if you have one, and if you do, make sure you're on it. Going along with interviewing and cover letters and things like that, certifications are so amazing and helpful when you're applying for jobs, because a lot of times having a degree isn't always enough. Like, you can study something, but unless you've taken a test or an examination that shows exactly that you can do this, it can be hard for these recruiters to judge if you're really ready. So if you're someone who has the opportunity to take a certification in what you do or something that applies to your job, definitely do it. I know I have a certification in recreational therapy. However, I'm now looking for other certifications I can get to add to my resume, such as I'm a big person who loves stress management and I'm really involved in those holistic kind of treatments, so I definitely want to find a place where I can get certified in stress management, any form. Right now I'm really into Tai Chi, and I've been doing Tai Chi with a lot of my residents, so I think that's something that would be really good for me, and finding something that applies to you and is really good for you would be really helpful, and it could even get you even farther through the door, maybe to a second interview, or get you hired. You never know, but definitely think of certifications if you can and if you have the ability to. Into work, if you can, talk to someone in your field, get ideas of how much you're supposed to be making, and when you go on interviews, know where you want to start off as or what is appropriate for what you're doing, because I feel like a lot of times we are so excited to get that job and we're just like, oh my god, like, this is it, this is the job, like, I worked so hard for this, I'm gonna do it, and then, you know, they're trying to pay you lower than what you're worth. So don't like settle for anything less than what you deserve to be paid and like what is normal, because there are people who will try to not pay you. So this kind of goes with just the transitioning period. You're gonna feel stressed out. You're gonna feel like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Like, how is this even gonna work out? I don't know what to do and where to go. But don't get stuck there. Like, don't think that this is it or it can't change. Like, I know so many people who graduated, did an internship, or did some kind of field work that wasn't necessarily a full-time job, and because of maybe their decisions during college as far as major wise, they weren't able to get a job outside in the field, like outside in the real world. And I think for a lot of those people, they were very stressed out. They didn't feel like they could do it, but it always works out. Like, that's what I want to say, and that's kind of the point of this whole spiel, is that it's gonna work out. It's a process. It's about the journey, not the destination. Nothing in life should be boom, 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 boom. Like, okay, this happened, and then this happened, and then, like, you can't just have things expected. It's about these changing and transitions and finding and figuring out who you are and what appeals to you and how you can be of service to other people. It's so funny because people always think, oh, when I go to a job, it's like, oh, what can the job provide me? Like, okay, the money, this experience that I can stay if I ever need another job. But it's like, what can you also bring? Like, what do you want to do with yourself in terms of life? You know, and that it can be applied to your day-to-day life as well, not just your job. Like, ask, like, what can you do for other people? How can you serve other people? Because when we constantly think of ourselves and we think, oh, it's about me and I have to do this and I have to get this and I have to go to here and here and here, you kind of lose sight that it's not only about you. And to make things work, to make your life work, you need other people, and sometimes you just need to be of service to other people. And no matter what field you're in, chances are you're doing something that is going to help someone else. And if you're only thinking about what it's going to benefit you and how you're going to be benefited from it, you're never going to reach higher. And I think that's what everyone needs to remember, is that it's not just about you. And you can feel overwhelmed, but maybe change your perspective and you'll be in an even better place where you don't have to worry about these things. When you do get that job, when you are in the position, when you're seeing everything come to fruition that you're wanting and manifesting and you're dreaming about, just remember to enjoy the moment. Enjoy the feeling of you've accomplished the thing that you've been working so hard for. Like, delve into the emotions of being happy and the fact that you're entering into a new step. I know it can be daunting for me. I get so nervous whenever there's change, but changes make us, and as I said, it just kind of moves us forward on how we can help other people and help ourselves in the process. So don't get anxious. It's so easy for me to say that, and it's so easy for other people to say that, and I always hate when people say that, but it's so true. You can't focus on those feelings, but how you can work with them and learn from them and take that with you for any other experiences that you will experience future in life. So that's that. The last thing that is so important is, guys, life is going to pass you, me, everyone by. So just like what I said earlier, like, enjoy the moment. Make sure you're living your life for you and not other people, and whatever you're doing is making you happy and is helping someone else in the process. Because honestly, we only have one life. We don't know when our expiration date is. We don't know what can happen to us. We don't know if things will change for the better or for the worse, or you're gonna have a setback. And you just need to be appreciative and be happy and just know that life is good. I remember my one professor would always say, life is good. And I always say that through the hard times, the good times, anytime, life is good. And be grateful, because I feel like it was just yesterday I was starting college and I was like, this is awesome. It feels like camp. And now I'm like back home in New York with a full-time job, and I'm just like, where does time go? And everyone just keeps saying it keeps going, and I feel it. Like, I'm 22 now and I feel like I'm gonna be 30 soon. But life is good. Thank you guys for watching. If you're in college and you're approaching your final year, or you're someone who's graduating December, best of luck to you. You know, you did it. You're at that point. You're at the final stage. And if you are someone like me who has already graduated, life is just picking up. It's starting to pick up. The ball is rolling. And you gotta go with it. Gotta hit the ground running. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.